So with the national sports media putting the NBA ratings into the spotlight, especially going into streaming, we gotta ask ourselves, with some of these new players like Amazon, will their ratings even matter? The league does draw a younger demographic that the NFL does not have. They also have plenty of inventory to last about 6 months. And with live sports being integrated into streaming, how much is a stream really worth to a company like Amazon when they're really data collecting, and they'll also have access to a newer and younger demographic base to sell products to? A stream to them will be worth way more than the same stream will be to ESPN, who do not have that ecosystem. In a way, Amazon is possibly setting themselves up to dominate live sports streaming if they can get their in-house ad system right. But right here in this segment, we're going to hear from former TNT president David Levy on some of the dynamics that could possibly play out with Amazon in the streaming world. And keep in mind that streaming right now is still not profitable, as companies like ESPN, by the fall of 2025, is going in the direction of selling their product directly to consumers. And all this is happening as the subscribers to cable dwindles every single year. And companies like ESPN have made multiple pivots since they don't have products to sell, such as jumping into gambling. But again, former TNT president David Levy gave great insight to some of the dynamics that are playing out here, especially when it comes to Amazon. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
So I think Amazon, at the end of the day, is going to be the winner in sports rights and maybe even the entertainment business and maybe just all viewing habits. And that has a lot to do is that the actual video business for Amazon is small, right? Amazon is you buy all your goods and services through Amazon. They have a tremendous amount of data on you, the consumer. You know, Turner Broadcasting doesn't have that kind of data, right? NBC doesn't have that kind of data. The consumer data, and by the way, Netflix doesn't have that kind of data. Netflix doesn't know that you bought batteries 6 months ago, or that you bought toilet paper yesterday, or you bought a toothbrush, or your wife, and so forth. They have so much information of consumer data, okay? So let's use the NFL Thursday night football game, okay? So that's now on Amazon. And now you have the other football games that are on Fox, that are on NBC and on CBS. So let me tell you the difference and the power of what Amazon has versus those other four. The power is this. They can dynamically insert ads in every pod that, guess who can't do that? NBC, CBS, or Fox. They can't dynamically insert. That means that let's just use the first commercial break in the Thursday night football game, okay? And they can send out 1 million different ads to 1 million different people simultaneously. That's dynamic ad insertion, right? So let's say, John, you bought batteries 6 months ago, and Amazon knows that you bought batteries and batteries only last 6 months. So in 5 months and 29 days, they're going to send you an ad in NFL football because you're watching. It's going to say, hey, John, do you need batteries? Or a Duracell ad will show up because you now need batteries, okay? That's the kind of power and the information that NBC, CBS, and Fox can't do.
You know, one thing, Netflix could do this. They're slowly developing an ad system. That's why with their lower tiers, all of a sudden you're seeing ads. Eventually, they're going to keep increasing their prices the more content, especially live streaming, that they keep adding into their service. And eventually, they're probably going to have a large portion of their customer base subscribing on a tier that plays ads. Meanwhile, they'll have a very small percentage of a customer base that pays a premium not to see the ads. But at the end of the day, they probably want to get into that ads business because they could also insert those dynamic ads into their system, being that they are a tech company. So they know the age ranges for certain documentaries and television shows, and they're gonna have ad partners that want to market certain products to certain demographics. So they're slowly setting up their system to be in the same ball game as the way Amazon is attacking streaming. Once again, a stream is worth way more on Amazon than the same stream on NBC, ESPN, or Peacock. And also, let me tie this in with Netflix. They got one ace in their pocket that a lot of these leagues are kind of hoping they get into the live sports business. And we've seen it play out with the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. They have instant access to an international audience. There is no special licensing that they need to broadcast their service all around the world. Make no mistake about it, all the other sports leagues, they're paying attention.
Dynamic ad insertion is going to be a huge game changer in the industry. And you can only do it if you're on the internet within a streaming service. You can't do it in the linear space. You cannot, and that is very powerful. And to have all that other data that Amazon is storing and be able to use that and target market all of your sports properties and all your entertainment properties and send ads that are meaningful ads for you, meaning, women's hygiene ads are not going to be very important for David Levy or John. We will probably never see one in any of our NFL games.
In correlation to Netflix right here, they're going to be running those women hygiene products for certain shows because they know the age range of the person that logs in, what they're clicking on, what is this documentary or movie, who they attract. So they can market those products directly to that demographic, and they can actually charge a higher rate per ad insertion because they can better pin down the demographics than linear TV can. It's almost as if Netflix doesn't have to worry about shipping out product like Amazon, but they're sort of the middleman between linear TV advertisement and perhaps Amazon. Let's say if Amazon goes on the higher scale of advertising on live streaming, they're going to become the middleman of that, and they don't have to worry about shipping out products because they're going to have dynamic ad insertion, not to the same degree in detail as Amazon, where they know what you previously bought, but they're going to be in a lot better ballpark of what demographics and age ranges are watching certain shows and documentaries, way better than linear TV. It's a good sweet spot to be in.
Sell that ad 10 times over because you get dynamically ad inserted on different people. So I think the end game is ultimately going to be the streaming services that can produce, first of all, and also the streaming services minus the sports properties, but they are less ads because they can dynamically ad insert. They can charge more, right, for their ads, and they can have less ads. I mean, I was watching a cable network, I'm not going to say which one, and I think I spent 6 minutes waiting for the show to come back. Okay. And now, I don't know why I did it, but I ended up timing it. I went back to see how long it was. It was like 6.5 minutes of a commercial break. That's happening across the board because they have to make up for the lost ratings, right? So when the ratings go down, what do? They add commercial breaks because they have to add inventory so they can sell and keep up in the pace of the growth business, which it's not anymore. And guess what happens when you add 6 minutes of commercial break? People leave, right? And that means the ratings continue to go down. So you're not actually providing a good consumer experience while you're trying to maintain your profits.
It's almost as if linear TV is double trapped. The subscription cost keeps going up, while at the same time the networks are starting to open up their own streaming services. And players like Amazon and Netflix, they're going to have the ability to show less ads because it's going to be more directly targeted to the exact demographic. And they're going to have the ability to show visual ads, maybe when you're navigating through their menus. So there's more flexibility for them to generate more revenue, whether it be a visual ad or a dynamic insertion ad. Definitely interesting times. Unfortunate for the sports leagues like the NFL, the NBA, they're not going to have access to this data. They are not really going to know how much these companies are making. And to a degree, when it comes to the analytics, I'm wondering in their brand new contracts, do they have access to that data? Because companies like Netflix for sure do not share that information. But it is what it is. ESPN is going to be launching their brand new app in the fall of 2025, and the landscape is changing very fast, as well as the flow and the money. But that's all I have for today. You guys definitely hit up the description and link below. Check out the mailbag. Hit me up with any questions you have. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.